Friends, welcome to this edition of Wild and True, brought to you from the swamps and bottomlands of southern Mississippi. First, let me thank Gary Stevie at Three Heart Outfitters, your North Idaho adventure headquarters. They offer hunts for elk, bear, deer, anything you want to do in the Idaho outdoors. Cat Paw Bend, your source for seedlings and seeds for your own game paradise. Winchester Shot Shells, packing the punch for trophy longbeards. And last but not least, Mossy Oak Camo, hiding hunters in plain sight for 30 years. This week, well, this week, I don't know exactly what to call it. This is the time of the season when it drags on down, and over the years, as I've hunted and hunted and hunted, there's always been somebody that ends up asking me, "What made you call at the last time?" Because a lot of times I'm just bound and determined that there is a turkey there somewhere. And it's that continual looking, the continual getting up and going, um, the ability to react when things happen. All of that plays a part in your success rate towards the end of the year. Um, and there is a lot of truth to the statement. I can just think back over turkey after turkey after turkey. One in particular stands out. You know, we were pretty much done for the morning and everything like that, and I pulled up to a gate, and I had checked that gate, oh, just any time that I was around it, basically. And that particular morning, I pulled up, man, the turkey gobbled off down in the hollow. And knew they were always there. It was just catching them at the right time. And, ultimately, we all moved into action and everything and recorded another really great hunt for one of the shows. Um, it's the ability, A, not to give up, and B, to react. And if we're going to throw a C in there, if a place is so pretty, it's got to have a turkey in it. A lot of times it has a turkey in it, and if you strike him at the right mode, at the right moment, at the right time, pretty much the game is on. You know, it's finding one that wants to play and reacting as to how it all goes down. I'm thinking of a particular turkey in uh, the public land of Idaho where I used to hunt a lot, and this particular turkey lived on it was a four-wheel off-road recreation area, and at daylight he was there all the time, but immediately upon flying down he would vacate the premises. And of course that was easy to understand because pretty soon up in the daylight, there'd be motorcyclists arriving and UTVers and all kinds of four-wheelers and this and that and the other, and that turkey, or the hens associated with that turkey, I might say, would just pack him up and drag him off from there and everything. Boy, I tried that turkey and tried that turkey and tried that turkey, and I never could get around where I could get close enough. Or it was a herd of elk messed me up one morning, and a lot of different things. But I kept trying him, and I was trying to bear hunt in the evenings. And I don't know if you've ever been in North Idaho in the springtime, but the combination of early morning turkey hunting and bear hunting late in the evening leads to very, very little time to sleep. I mean, I've got up and went to turkeys in North Idaho at 2:30 in the morning. That's just what it took because it was going to be daylight at 4:30 and everything. And sometimes you had to time your hike in and all that. People ask me lots of times, was I ever scared? And I've been in a lot of grizzly bear country. I've been in a lot of uh, places that I knew there were big cats that probably were observing me and everything. But as scared as I ever was I was going to a turkey one morning in North Idaho, and I was on a little kind of narrow game trail, and basically it kind of picked its way around a big rock facing and all that, and it was full daylight. I couldn't shine no light and all, and I was just kind of doing what I always do, which is feel my way along. And I kind of come around the bend of this rock, and I run into a cow moose. And a cow moose ain't friendly to begin with. In other words, there's nothing to sneeze at. And so I recognized, I know it was dark, but I recognized it as being a cow moose. And she communicated, and right below me, I heard the calves. And so all of a sudden, I was between Mama and the calves on this rock out in North Idaho in the middle of the dark. And I remember looking down, and I couldn't see the calves. It was two of them. She had twins. I couldn't see them, but I could definitely hear them rustling around down in there. And she was above me, and she was actually trying to call them up to her. And I was smack dab in the middle. And that was one time that I kind of drawed up. You know, I was like, this is not the greatest place to be. And so I just kind of hunkered down as good as I could, you know, just a lot of times you're safest when you ain't moving, and so I just eased down to the ground and kind of let the calves, and I'll never forget the calves come out. When they come out where I could see them, I could see them in the kind of against the sky and everything. When they come out of the bushes, the alder bushes down below me, they were like 3 yards from me. And I was like, I knew one of them was going to pick up my scent or something and want to go to playing around me and everything like that. And I was just, but I remember the calf looking uphill, and of course, Mama mewed a couple more times, and they kind of went on all of them up the hill and all. But that was one time in my life that I was kind of scared in the woodlands. But anyway, back to this turkey. I had tried him and tried him and tried him and tried him at daylight. And after about the fourth or fifth morning of trying to do that and bear hunt in the evening, and I just give slam out. And I I said I'm not going in the morning, and so I just didn't get up. I just slept in the morning and left out there. And I had a few things to do in town. The town 30 minutes away, and so I went on to town and got my stuff done and I got me a chicken snack. And that's back when Walmart still had chicken snacks that were affordable. And right now, you'd think a chicken was a gold mine. But I got me a chicken snack and got me a drink. I was driving, I don't know, some 80 model Subaru that looked like it had been in 2 or 3 wrecks. I beat the fender out with the front. Paid $400 for that car. So drove that car for 2 years. Sold it for $400. That man drove that car for 2 years and sold it for $600. And anyway, but it was quite the looker. It was 2 or 3 different colored 4-wheel drive Subaru. And I left it one time, and I left it for 5 or 6 weeks, and they actually called the sheriff's department on it. The sheriff's department hunted me down, and I was off on the shoot somewhere, and they asked me did I intend to come back and get the car. And the motel I'd left it at had offered free parking. I said, yeah, I'm coming after it just as soon as I can. Well, by the time I got back to it, it had a flat tire on the right front side, and the battery wouldn't crank. But the maintenance man there in Spokane, Washington, he helped me air it up and crank it up and get it all rolling. I was back rolling again. But back to this turkey. I got my chicken snack, and of course I had everything, and I had to drive by the area. And so when I come back by where he's at, I pulled down in there where they offload the UTVs and 4-wheelers, and they had a restroom and all that down in there. And so I kind of got out of the car there, and just spread my chicken snack out. It was a sunny day. It was actually a beautiful day up in North Idaho, and I was eating on my chicken, and it was about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the wind was up just a little bit, and I thought I heard him gobble down in there. So I just sat around. I didn't do too much and all that kind of stuff. I definitely didn't call back at him or anything like that. And I said, there was a fire lane that was off right down through the woods, and they had kind of pushed it around through there. And I said, well, I'm going to hit that fire lane and take this box, and I'm just going to walk and call until I hear him again. And so that's what I did. I went off down through there, and I reckon I was on about the 3rd time I called, which meant I'd probably gone less than 250 yards. It may have been a little further than that, but anyway, it was close to that. I'd just walk, and then I'd stand around a minute and pull that big old powder box out and call. And it was about the 3rd or 4th call. He gobbled, and I knew I heard him, and got a pretty good peg on where he was. Well, I say I got a pretty good peg on where he was. I knew what direction he was at. I sure didn't know what was between me and him or anything like that, because I was unfamiliar with the ground and all. And so when he gobbled that time, I just put the box away, and I kind of cut the corner of that piece of property. I cut directly at him, and I was about, I don't know, maybe 150 yards closer to him, and I decided that I better pull up there, and I'll never forget it. It's kind of a little cliff